this is the most important story. I think Scott and I were both totally offended by this, and I think it is actually a serious problem of corruption. Trump and Melania have released their own individual crypto meme coins. They're called, just so you know, meme coin. These kind of coins are called shit coins. There's a fart coin, in case you're interested, and many others like it. As of Tuesday morning, the two coins were worth $8.4 billion combined. President Trump's reportedly planning an executive order to make digital assets a national priority, while he promises to release $1 billion of his own coin in the next 3 years. This is just, they don't have to stay at the Trump hotel anymore. They can just bring the receipts for buying his shit coin, essentially. This is really bad. This is bad.
Staying at the Trump hotel or playing golf there, where he saw the ledger of Gulf officials buying stock in Donald Trump media, that was all checkers compared to this chess. Because with Donald Trump media, he has to file with the SEC a public document saying, I'm selling shares, the price would crash. Now, the following conversation, I would speculate, will or already has happened, and that is, President Trump, congratulations on your enormous victory. It's your good buddy Vlad. And guess what we're thinking of doing? The Treasury here in Russia is thinking of investing $600 billion for a variety of reasons in cryptocurrencies, specifically the Trump coin. And my economists, wouldn't you know it, have calculated that based on the small float of $500 million, when we pulse in 600 billion rubles or $10 billion, that's going to take the market cap of this thing easily to $50 or $60 billion. And should you decide to sell 20% of your stake overnight, what do you know? I just bring this up. You'll become one of the 5 wealthiest men in America. And
you don't have to say.
And nobody will know. And in unrelated news, President Trump, we would like you to seize arms shipments to Ukraine. I mean, this is just so...
This is bribery writ large.
They have created, it's kind of a bond.
This is what they thought Bitcoin would be used for: bribery, corruption, pornography.
That's a great point.
I'll tell you, a lot of crypto people are like horrified because they were like, great, we're finally getting our legs under us around some really important, legislation.
What if you can't get two or three Republican senators on board for a federal ban of abortion, and he just calls them and says, hey, on the down low, you're old, you're leaving. I can give you $10 million in crypto to your fund or to another account you name, and no one will ever know. No one will ever know. Oh, Taiwan or China, you're about to invade Taiwan. We don't need to do it covertly. Just call them. What if he just calls both of them and says, it's eBay for geopolitics. Whoever buys more Trump coin gets U.S. intelligence and some of our heavy armaments and...
Or Smelania.
Or maybe Melania. And nobody has to know. Nobody. I can sell it. I can buy it. Buyers and sellers, totally opaque. This is
Grifter
America.
City.
America has more from a platform that used to be about prosperity and making money. I think that's wonderful, such that we can tax these people and again invest in the middle class. It's important to have that ambition. It's important to make money. It's a wonderful thing. But we also were a platform for civil rights, for rule of law, for electing a group of people that had laws that recognized conflicts of interest such that they could think with some level of patriotism about preventing a tragedy of the commons long term and do what was right for all Americans. And then we could project those values overseas and try and advance women's rights, try and advance democracy, try and do away with honor killings and do away with child marriage and we could project our... Now, all of that has been crowded into a tiny little box, and America is essentially becoming a platform for how do you make the jump to light speed, and it's a Hunger Games, and if you make money, you have a remarkable life, and you get to sit up front with your hot wife, but everybody else, unless you have money, sorry folks, you're not on stage. This really has gone...
And they run media, they run
the meme coin, his coin, is literally the democratization of kleptocracy.
That's what you said. This is the thing people must pay attention to and do as much reporting on as possible, is this bribery system that they've put into place.
It may have already happened. We don't even know.
Yeah, we don't even know. And of course, they've now captured the IRS, so there's not going to be any investigation by the SEC. They've captured the SEC. There's no way to, it's up to reporters who they're putting the pressure on to be silenced, right? A lot of people are definitely pulling back. I mean, a lot of the coverage was like, look at the pageantry of normalcy of power. Like they didn't mention felon once. They didn't mention the insurrection. They did mention the insurrection several times. Isn't it ironic? This is where the insurrection happened and they're sitting there, right? They're all sitting there as if nothing happened. They did mention that, but for the most part, everyone's going to be pulling back. They are. They're absolutely going to be pulling back, and you're not going to see it. And that is what Russia is. Russia is a broken, hollowed out state full of people, haves and have-nots, of really making nothing, no innovation. And instead, just that tableau of the tech people up there should tell you every single thing you need to know about this particular, what's about to happen. Hopefully there'll be pushback. We'll talk about that in the next episode. Like, what is the actual pushback? What is the way to control it? Because they do have their hands on the AI. They have their hands on crypto.
Which, by the way, they revoked that executive order. That was one of the executive orders they undid. Was Biden's AI.
Yep. Biden's AI, which was quite a good, fair one, I thought. They just don't want any business. I would... this crypto thing is really bad. It's just, as you said, Scott, democratized corruption.